Hi folks, hope you're okay today. We've been looking at this book and we've just been reading the first few pages, Evidence Demands a Verdict by Josh McDowell, and we've been looking at the foundations of various views, and we're just going to look now at the agnostic world and the scientific world, and then doing a new part series using this book, but talking about why the Bible's the Word of God. Etc. Okay? Because of the difficulty of defending, this is agnostic world, because of the difficulty of defending an atheist position, most irreligious people adopt the position of agnosticism. Once again, this term is made up of two Greek terms, meaning know and gnosis, meaning knowledge, so the term simply means no knowledge. An agnostic person is not sure if there is a God. Norman Geisler and Peter Botchin said the fundamental flaw in Kant's hard agnostic position is his claim to have knowledge of what he declares to be unknowable. In other words, if it were true that reality cannot be known, no one, including Kant, would know it. Kant's hard agnosticism boils down to this claim: I know that reality is unknowable. Kant's epistemology results in agnosticism, the claim that nothing can be known about reality. Norman Geisler comments, in its unlimited form, agnosticism claims that all knowledge about reality, truth, is impossible, but this itself is offered as a truth about reality. Geisler. So I agree there. I think that it's quite clever, that actually. Basically, when you're saying that we don't know if there's a God or not, that is a truth claim. It is a truth claim that you know that you don't know if there is a God or not. So, in other words, it's self-contradictory, isn't it? It contradicts itself as a worldview. The scientific world, oddly enough, of all the worlds in collision today, is the scientific world that is increasingly giving the greater and more shocking evidence in favour of God's existence. Over the years, the fight between science and religion has been well known, but in recent years the facts that science has promoted concerning the origins of the universe as well as human beings has increasingly come under attack, especially from within. Over the years, scientists such as Michael B. have challenged the facts of science from a scientific methodology. Works such as B's Darwin's Black Box, The Biochemical Challenge to Evolution, in which he states evidence from biochemistry that refutes Darwinian evolution, have ushered in a new age of critique of Darwin's theory. Denskin continues, the world contains events, objects and structures which exhaust the explanatory resources of undirected natural causes, which can be adequately explained only by recourse to an intelligent cause. Scientists are now in a position to demonstrate this rigorously. Thus what has been a long-standing philosophical intuition is now being cashed out as a scientific research program. There's a lot of battle going on between the religionists and science concerning evolution and the rest of it. I want to put my penny worth in there. It's interesting to note that these scholars like Dembski and Michael B. are demonized by the scholars like Richard Dawkins, which makes me critical and cynical of Richard Dawkins. I think that some scientific evidences do go to show that there is a God. For example, the fine-tuned evidence of the universe. The Big Bang. I don't believe in the Big Bang, but the way scientists say the Big Bang took place seems to indicate that it backs up a God did it, really. And so I think that there's also the issue of scientism. A lot of atheists think the only way of knowing is by science, That's called scientism. That's very crass, silly epistemology. And so I don't buy that. So I do think that the Christian faith, if honestly looked at, that science would and does at some points confirm the Christian faith, but that there is a murky water between those who are evolutionists and those who are creationist and who battle it out between each other. It's a murky water in the sense that a lot of the detail, a lot of the evidence is actually very hard to substantiate both ways. I do think that evolution is not the truth, and I think that there isn't the evidence to back up mutations. No evidence has been given to show that mutations produce new species in any shape or form. However, I do think that that things are patchy in the area of evolution and creation. But I also think some things are clear. What I would say is I wouldn't buy into the rhetoric of the evolutionist or skeptics who try to say that Christianity contradicts science. I think science, in some respects, actually verifies the Christian faith. And I think there are other scientific theories and ideas that lack any basis but are used to attack the Christian faith. And that sometimes we don't really have all the facts, either from a creationist or an evolutionist point of view. And I think we all have to be humble about that. That doesn't mean to say we can't know what truth is, or we can't know whether the Christian faith is true or not. It's just acknowledging that when it comes to evolution, we're looking into the very ancient past, and we have to be very cautious in grandiose statements from any perspective. I think you have to walk with humility in that area. That's what I think. Okay. I believe the Bible, God created the world in 6 days, and I do believe there's evidence for that. But I think we have to be humble and be careful not to be too dogmatic in that area in some respects. On both sides. Alright. But I'm a 100% creationist myself. But I think that the evidence is on that side, but I just think that a lot of work has to be done to substantiate any side, not just the evolutionist side, but any side really. There's no evidence for evolution as far as I'm concerned, but I hold to the Bible's belief about creation. I believe there's evidence for that, but I'm not going to be dogmatic about something where the evidence about the ancient past is patchy from a Christian or an atheist or an evolutionist perspective.